From beyond the moons of Kovos to the fractured remnants of the Dross Nebula, eerie transmissions can be heard if you tune your star dial to just the right nano frequency. One signal in particular enchants listeners with tales of heroism, treachery, romance, and discovery. Right beside this signal, caught between the hyperstatic, are the ramblings of two strange beings from an unknown time and an unknown place. Listen as they navigate you through the dark times.
Hello and welcome to The Dark Times, a Starfinder 2nd Edition podcast. I'm Sam, your favorite chittering mystic.
Oh, and I'm that kind of alien that's just like a fish guy in a bowl.
But with like a robot body?
Yeah.
Like a sexy robot body?
A sexy, like Metropolis, boobalicious robot body with a fish tank and a fish on top of it. I'm Steven, by the way.
That's going to be great for first-time listeners of this show. Steven, this is not our usual setup. These aren't our usual. This is not my usual house.
No,
this is not my usual wife.
No, and Sam, it's actually double unusual because we aren't doing what we said we were going to do. Obviously, we are in the dog days of the darkest summer here. It is just coming to a close before we return to our regularly scheduled programming. However, something too exciting to ignore happened about 3 weeks ago that we wanted to talk about here on the pod more than anything else, more than the Ewoks, the second Ewoks movie, more than any sort of dramatic reading that we could, construe from the vast library of Star Wars short stories out there. Starfinder 2nd Edition was announced by Paizo. And with that announcement came a lot of information, including their first field test, which is not a play test, but rather kind of a sneak preview document. It honestly harkens a lot to like the old WEG and early Swissy releases about what the game's going to look like and what we can expect. And Sam and I loved what we saw so much that we had to bring it to you guys.
Absolutely. So consider this the first of a possible new Dark Times.
Yeah.
As, depending on how this goes. And what if Paizo crashes and burns in the next year?
Well, even if it does, Sam, there's still great news on the table. So, stay tuned for that. You ever played Starfinder, Sam?
I've played, you and I have played Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
Yeah.
But I've never played Starfinder in particular.
Starfinder's pretty fun. I like it a lot. There was a few problems I had with it that I think are going to be addressed by this new edition because, it's basically just hitting it with the Pathfinder 2E beam, which, as we know, automatically makes everything perfect. And
also a one-hit KO.
Yeah.
Most stuff.
But yeah, I played in this Starfinder campaign that ran, for a few months. I played a Skittermander. Do you happen to know about the Skittermanders, Sam?
No, but the name sounds lizard-like.
They are adorable. They're like a semi-reptilian, semi-insectoid, fuzzy alien species. They have 6 arms and are hatched from eggs and are just absolutely adorable. Think of like a 6-armed koala, pretty much, but they come in like pink, purple, blue, green, red.
I love them.
They're amazing. I was the pilot techie for my party and in a compelling adventure about returning a baby dragon to its rightful home. But then a few of the players were normies and backed out, so we didn't get too far into that. The Skittermander are funny because they were under threat of colonization by, I think they're called the Fisk or the Visk. They're the kind of the Trandoshans of the Starfinder world. They're the big, mean lizards. The Fisk weren't successful in colonizing the Skittermanders because the Skittermanders absolutely were unable to see their invaders as enemies. The Fisk showed up to the Skittermander homeworld and were like, give us all your resources. You are now slaves of the Fisk Empire. And the Skittermander's like, oh, yeah, you want a hand with this stuff? Sure, here's, we'll help you out. We'll build ships for you. We'll fix guns. Yeah, we'll be pals. We'll be buddies. Really, really great lore there.
I love it. I didn't know you were such a Starfinder lore savant, Steve.
Oh, that ends mine. That's the only that's it. That is all the lore knowledge I had right there.
Oh, well. Yeah. This bodes well for us. Steven, so Starfinder, for people who don't know, maybe regular listeners of this show are more familiar with traditional D20 games. Starfinder first edition is like a 3.5. We're talking about like a D20 system, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's Pathfinder, but in space, basically. It was further branched from Pathfinder, and it has a few changes and optimizations that kind of make it that, it's like, God, if Pathfinder is 3.75, then God, I don't know, like Starfinder's like 3.89. Like But yeah, it's not exactly Pathfinder, but it's pretty damn close. And, people have been speculating about Starfinder 2e for a long time, me included, with how much I love Pathfinder 2e. It got me thinking like, oh man, if they can give this treatment to Starfinder, then we're really in the money. And, it was taking so long with no words. Paizo was being very, I guess careful is the word we can use now, but they were being very stonewalled about any questions regarding Starfinder 2e. They're like, we're just not, that's not in the plans. We're not doing that. Like, sorry.
I guess, that's not how I would do it, but yeah, sure.
It was like Ian McGregor with the Kenobi series where, for like literally the years of it, when it was a movie and then a show of it all being produced, he was like, oh, I haven't heard from Disney, but we all knew that he was. But now is like the perfect time for Starfinder 2e to come in. And I can see why they waited this long to even say anything. Because we got that OGL snafu behind us. Paizo has their own license, the ORC, the ORC.
Yeah.
Which we love. It's fucking fantastic. It virtually guarantees that, none of those nefarious consumer practices that Wizards is known for, nor, like, say Paizo turns evil, or like you said, crashes and burns tomorrow. Everything that we love about Pathfinder and Starfinder will still be protected and available for everyone for forever. And these Pathfinder 2e remakes are slowly rolling out. Do you know about that situation? They're like remaking the books fully stripped of OGL content and also making some slight like balance changes a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, we're kind of getting like Pathfinder 2.5e basically, but they're just calling it a remake.
I knew that they're doing the mini books, but I didn't realize they were doing like a full remake as well.
Yeah, they're like re-releasing entire books that are like combinations of previous releases, and
now I gotta get more books.
Yeah, right. It's like, great. I just feel like I just bought all the Pathfinder 2e books. Now there's more to buy, but yeah, so that's happened. But they're still compatible with the old 2e. It's not like a full new versioning. It's mostly just an orc thing.
It's mostly removing the OGL wording and stuff.
Basically,
like that, yeah.
And they changed like divine, and they changed the wording with there's no like good or evil damage anymore. It's like divine and dark or something, shadow, I think, like something like that, sinister maybe. But yeah, so now that Pathfinder 2e is reconglomerating, OGL's out, perfect time for Starfinder 2e. The full playtest rulebook for Starfinder 2e will be out summer of 2024, and Paizo says they want this to be their most open playtest ever.
That means we're on the ground floor, baby. We're going to be getting in there. We're schmoozing with the Skittermanders, everyone in space. We're going to meet some people.
Here's hoping, right?
Here's hoping.
The new edition of Starfinder will be completely compatible with P2E as well as the Orc license. Why are these good things, Sam?
Well, it's good things because we like the P2E system.
Yes,
Steven.
Because we like P2E and we like the Orc license, but that's a little less relevant to the interest of the podcast. It also means, and this is the coolest thing, do you have a monster that you like in Pathfinder and you want your Starfinder party to face it? It's as simple as just taking out the stat block and using it.
Wait, really?
Yes. That's what they mean by fully compatible.
That's so cool.
Any sort of Starfinder enemy, you want to give a gun.
I can fight Krampus in space?
You can fight Krampus in space easily. Easily. They even give an example like, do you want a laser gun toting soldier to hang out with your clerics and wizards in your Pathfinder campaign? Easily done. Easily done. It really blurs the lines between these being two separate games, honestly. It's like we're just...
Which I think is good. It's a good thing. This is great, actually.
A fantastic thing, because there's classes and archetype combinations in Pathfinder that I'm like absolutely obsessed with, that I'll be able to play in a sci-fi setting, which, holy shit.
And I personally think the action system is already perfect. Like,
oh my God. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3,
game.
right? The action system is the whole reason why this is a big deal. And, not to mention Pathfinder's completely demystified encounter building. You just snap together combats like Legos. You get a number for how many enemies that you can put in front of your players based on their strengths and the amount of players in the party, and bam, you're there. You can also, players can easily take the helm during mysteries and exploration. Not to mention the balance. Oh my God, Sam, the balance in P2E, like all those 5e players over there, they still can't figure out if casters are overpowered or not. They're still having this debate.
They still have to tell them they can't do certain things.
Yeah, get on D&D, any D&D subreddit right now. Search, caster, and just
sort by most controversial.
Yeah. Have fun with that. Not to mention, all the cool maneuvers that fighters can do, that they had to make a whole new class in 5e just for fighters to get a shot at. So, it's, we're not here to shit on Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Absolutely has its place. But I mean, these are improvements that P2E brings to the table that we'd love to see, that will now be fully integrated into Starfinder. Not to mention, there's just droves of quality content for Paizo, who got their start writing adventure paths. Don't forget. And every year, there's too many fucking adventure paths, Sam. Like every year, there's like 2 or 3 full 1 to 20 adventures that they just publish that are like $20, if that. I think you can get them in print if you want. I think so. They're not expensive.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No way they're 1 to 20, Steven. The D&D books don't even go 1 to 20.
Oh, Sam, every full length Pathfinder adventure path is 1 to 20. And
that's insane.
Probably they release plenty of shorter adventures too, but everything that's labeled like adventure path, that's 1 to 20.
That's awesome.
There's like more than 10 of them for Pathfinder 2nd edition.
You mean they've solved GMing?
Yeah.
I'm out of a job, Steven. What am I supposed to do, man?
Kind of. I mean, the biggest problem I encountered when I sat down to GM Pathfinder 2nd edition was overthinking. Like Swissy asks a lot of everyone at the table, and that's a good thing too. We love what Swissy forces us to do with each other. But, I would sit there sweating, being like, oh my God, am I doing enough for this encounter? Like, is it balanced? Is it interesting? It just comes out the box like that. You snap together. You
gotta trust the art, man.
Yeah. You read in the Pathfinder book that's like, oh, hey, yeah, a good adventure has a combat and then an exploration and then some downtime and then maybe another boss encounter. And then it's like, you just do that, And
you're like, it can't be this easy.
Yeah. You just you keep in mind your normal storytelling skills, understand a good ebb and flow of a narrative. And then it just falls into place. It's incredible.
Is Pathfinder the best thing to hit GMs since Dice?
It's the best thing to hit this GM since Dice, that's for sure.
Well, Steven, so for people who aren't super familiar, like Pathfinder, compared to traditional D20 RPGs, Pathfinder's got the 3 action system, which we love talking about.
Yep.
No more action, bonus action, free action, stuff like that. You've just got 3 actions, and every action in the game is listed as having 1 to 3 actions, or even none, or as a reaction.
And this might not sound a big deal to vets because, people like us, we know what a standard move, swift, bonus action are. We understand what those are and how they fit together. When you're trying to teach that to someone who's especially never played RPGs before, they fucking hate it. They hate you. They hate all the they hate all the words in the book that don't make sense. When you say, I've taught Pathfinder to people. I've people. There's a campaign going on right now full of people who have never even really heard of RPGs before that started their own campaign after I showed them Pathfinder 2nd edition once. And it was part of that success was that the action system was just totally not a hurdle. It was like, oh,
it's not a debate club anymore.
Exactly.
It's just
There's no more confusing between, different types of actions. It's just like, oh, attacking takes 1 action. Moving takes 1 action or more if you want to move more. Spells take 2 to 3 actions. Cantrips usually 1. Like that's it. Anything they want to do can easily fit in this 1, 2, 3 counter, which, This is not a Pathfinder episode. This is a Starfinder episode. So maybe we should get right into it.
It's a foundation, Steven.
You're
it's
right.
a foundation.
You're right. Not everyone understands.
It was worth bringing up.
Our love for P2E.
Exactly. Well, this is the sell. That's like the carrot on the stick, right? We're trying to be like, hey, check this out. Well, I mean, really cool sci-fi.
And that's part of it too. And another reason why I want to feature this, maybe I should save this for later in the episode, but I'll say it now too. There's a few people out there working on like the next Star Wars RPG project, and a lot of people are basing that work off of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. You should stop now. I want you to halt all work because this is going to do most of the heavy lifting for us. I think a lot of people out here love Swissy. I think a lot of people would love to see a system that has the soul of Swissy built for a more, modern RPG sensibilities. There's nothing wrong with Swissy as it is, but I think if we could build something like Swissy with what we've learned in RPGs in the past 20 years, I think that would be amazing. I think Starfinder 2nd Edition could be that base. It's going to change wildly. We are at the first field test. This is like the alpha of alpha builds of the game right now. So it's going to change, but quite possibly, if we're lucky, this could serve as the foundation of Swissy 2, which if you know me, you know that that's a joke I like to throw around, but this time it's serious.
Well put, Stephen. It's definitely one of those things that would, because the selling point for Swissy isn't that it's an RPG; it's that it's a Star Wars RPG.
Exactly. And
if anything could make the RPG part as palatable as possible for new players, then absolutely they should do it. Which is, Starfinder 2nd Edition. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yes.
But yes, let's talk about this field test, Stephen. You're back from the field. How was it?
It was good. I'm a little dusty, but hey, we're out here. Let me just brush that off. Paizo revealed 4 of 5 classes to be revealed in the playtest come next summer. These 4 classes they revealed, along with the field test that we're talking about today, are the Soldier, the Mystic, the Envoy, and the Solarian. The field test in particular centers on the Soldier. They also revealed that Starfinder 2nd Edition will have 6 base classes. Now, hold on. 6 base classes and the first one is named Soldier? Does that sound almost exactly like another game that we love? Maybe with 5 base classes where the first one's named Soldier?
No, it can't be.
And even the ones that they revealed, Soldier, okay. Mystic, huh. Now what could that be? Envoy? Oh, you mean like some sort of noble? Oh, Solarian? You mean the extremely lore-specific warrior that's in tune to the nature of creation and destruction across space? Now, where have I heard some archetypes like that before?
I swear to God, if one of the other ones is techie, I'm going to shit my pants.
The Soldier, in short, this is our tank. This is our heavy weapons guy and our all-around bruiser. The designers left some sidebar notes with a really cute. This is a Skittermander, Sam. This character that they've.
I noticed. Yeah, I noticed him.
Really unoriginal name. Captain Concierge. Like,
I love him. No, it's great.
Very cute. Very cute. He's a little Skittermander with a captain hat. It's great. But the devs left some notes through the colorful personality of Captain Concierge as sidebars in this field test. The designers did not want to make a fighter in space, and it really isn't. And you'll see why in a sec. Because at first it kind of sounds like it. I'm like, okay, this is our fighter, and whatever. But no, there already is a fighter in space, and it's called just using the fighter class from Pathfinder 2E and Starfinder, which you'll be able to do on release. But this is built around taking damage and doing splashy attacks. This is the main attribute for the Soldier. Can you guess, Sam?
Strength?
Con.
What?
It's a con-based class.
Fuck you.
Don't you dare dump con if you're going to be playing Soldier, because that is your main attribute. Yep. I know what you're thinking.
You'll never make me take my con medicine.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
It's impossible.
My analysis, it's kind of like a barbarian fighter, but even that's selling it short, and you'll see why later, mostly because of the emphasis on ranged combat. It's really it's a lot like Swissy Soldier. I'm sorry. I hate to just point out the thing that I like that is named like the new thing, but and of course there's probably half a dozen distinct directions you can build Swissy Soldier in, but like this is one of them. You are a heavy armor, two-handed heavy weapon specialist. The same is true for both Swissy Soldier and the Starfinder Soldier we're looking at here. The design team actually thinks they might be a little too durable. But we'll find out. They had a really fucking cheeky Leroy Jenkins reference in the sidebar about it. I was like, oh, the design team is 33.3% repeating, of course, sure, that it's too durable. And I'm like, wow, thanks, Captain Concierge. So for those of you who don't know, this is a Pathfinder class, obviously, Starfinder in this case. So you've got a nice little page here that details everything about the class in one go. And I'll just go ahead and go down here. And Sam, if it's too long or too boring, you just go ahead and stop me, okay? Mm-hmm. Soldier, you are a master of area weapons, heavy armor, and taking punishment. You stand in the thick of battle and unleash devastating salvos against your foes while taking withering fire in return. By laying down a barrage of suppressing fire with powerful weapons, you set your allies up to achieve their respective roles while encouraging enemies to focus on you. It's a tank, baby. This is your MMO tank. During combat encounters, you set yourself up on the battlefield to rain down fire with heavy weapons. You then take abuse from foes as they advance through your attacks, having the ability to swap to heavy melee attacks once your foes close the distance. During social encounters, you often stand back and let others do the talking while providing support from the threat of your weaponry and sheer bulk. Sometimes you might surprise others with an insightful take. That's kind of how I socialize too.
Yeah, your sheer bulk.
And my insightful takes. While exploring, you're at the front of the group, weathering any foes or hazards that appear along the way. You position yourself so you take advantage of your weaponry, but you also act as a shield for your allies. In downtime, you work long, exhausting jobs. You might take time to retrain certain things you've learned or tinker with your heavy weapons to procure new ammunition and upgrades. You might employ your heavy weapons to take the brunt of the enemy's attention in combat, relishing the attention while taking heavy fire. You may rush forward into danger, knowing that your sheer bulk and endurance will see you through. You think this class is about sheer bulk? You think sheer bulk is playing a big role here?
Sheer bulk's my favorite band from the 60s and 70s.
You may make dangerous
early punk days.
You may make dangerous gambits when employing your area of effect weapons, either putting yourself or your allies in danger. Others probably rely on you to take the lead and absorb incoming fire. Assume there's not much more to you than wielding big weapons and taking a beating, and appreciate what your presence alone brings to the negotiating table.
That was good. They did a good job I'm always on the fence when they write things out like that, where it's like, this is what your character might do, or this is how your character acts. But this was really well written, and honestly, it sells me on the soldier.
No, absolutely. And Paizo's really good at writing these. All the ones for Pathfinder are fucking incredible. I'm also wary of things like this too, because I don't want a game that like hands a script to any given player about like, here's how you act when you are a rogue. Here's how you act when you are a ranger. It's like, that's very unsexy and not.
It's to inspire though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they say you might or stuff like that.
And the way Paizo does it, they kind of just list examples. They really just kind of go through the archetypes that they're aiming for with this class. They don't like give you a script or typical behavior. They just say, oh yeah, soldiers tend to do these things or those things. I like them because, especially for newer or indecisive players, especially both, these little snippets are usually great for, what they want to see when selecting their class. These things usually conjure to mind like a character they like, and then bam, they want to play it. A nice Starfinder class also gives you a few class features. These are like things you get at level 1. And also, as tradition in most Paizo classes, you get to like choose a subclass is a decent word for it. It really, maybe archetype, even though archetype's a different thing in this game. But you know what I mean, Sam. What do you think is a good like the types of bards you can be and the types of clerics, stuff like that?
Oh, specialization?
Yeah, specializations. That's right. Subclass is a little too strong of a word. I think specialization is great.
Yeah, subclass is too rigid. Specialization is the more fluid word I would use there.
Definitely. So we'll get to those in a sec, but first the class features. There's suppressing fire, and it's a whole lot of words here just to say when you hit with an area weapon and an enemy fails that save in that area, they apply a new condition, new to Starfinder, called Suppressed, where they take a -1 penalty to attacks and -5 feet to speed. Sam, I want you to keep the suppressed condition in your mind. It's going to be really important as we move through this.
I know this, Stephen. I could do this. I know this. Suppressing people? Yeah, I know this.
Right? It's still
suppress an enemy? It's still here. It's
But think about that. Think about Swissy as we move through this. Swissy, in my humble opinion, kind of really mastered ranged combat at the table. I really love how Swissy does ranged combat. And, we're playing zero distance still. We're flying around in space. It's still good. It still feels amazing.
That's what I'm really unrelated, but that's what I'm really waiting for these field tests. Are we going to get a weird space combat that's going to suck, or is it going to be really good?
It's something to watch. Starfinder 1E space combat was okay. I don't remember a lot of it. It is hex based though.
That's pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool and really emphasizes like directions. Like you not every weapon on your ship can hit every direction.
Oh, because they're faced certain ways.
Yeah. Faced weapons are important in Starfinder 1E combat. And I don't really. We had like one starship encounter, so I really don't remember.
Very piracy kind of vibe,
Very piracy, very like traditional naval combat. But I'll be watching with bated breath as we see what they do with starship combat, because that's going to make all the difference in whether or not this is like the good base foundation for a potential, Swissy 2. Another class feature is primary target. Oh, sorry. We'll step back to suppressing fire. That applies to your whole area that you're attacking. Like, if you attack a big area with lots of enemies, they all have to fail a save to get suppressed. And, if it's a bunch of mooks, which, God, I hope in your case it is, they probably will. And that is so, so cool. Primary target modifies suppressing fire in an exciting way. When you make an attack with an area effect weapon, such as one with area fire or, get this, auto fire actions. Yeah, it's all here. Swissy's in here. They know.
The DNA is here.
Yeah, someone in here knows. Oh, Owen C.K. Stevens is a lead.
AC Stevens. Not on this.
Yeah, but he's got to have a hand in this.
Starfinder 1.
Yeah, but if he's the lead designer for Starfinder 1, I bet he's at the table for this to some degree. We gotta find out. Wait,
he wasn't in the credits.
He wasn't okay. I was just about to check the credits.
Field test. I checked.
Okay, well, I'm sure he's part of this in some degree.
I'm sure he's consultant.
Yes. When you make an attack with an area of effect weapon, such as those with area fire or auto fire actions,
this is the primary target feature, right?
Yeah, so we're still in the primary target class feature. You can choose to make a ranged attack roll against a single creature, either adjacent to the center point of the attack or the closest within a cone or line. A lot of words just to say a guy who happens to be close to the center of your area.
Whoever you aim at the most.
Yeah, pretty much. Whoever you want to, effectively based on how you aim. Instead of requiring that creature to make a save, if you hit that target, they're just automatically suppressed.
Yes, you make a roll instead of inquiring a save, right?
Yes. There is no save that they make if you choose them as your primary target. If you choose a primary target at all, no saves at all. If you hit them, they're suppressed.
Heck yeah.
That's pretty much a Swissy talent too. I mean, I'm really thinking about all the various heavy weapons. Like that's God, what is that? That's the one that your Duros likes.
Prime target.
Prime target. Oh my God. Look, prime target, primary target. Come on. And now here we are at the class specializations for soldiers. They're called fighting styles. Armor Storm. Basically, as long as you're wearing heavy armor, you're never damaged by your own attacks.
That's pretty cool.
Period. That's it.
I honestly didn't think that was going to be a problem, but
well, if you're standing in your own area attack,
that's fair.
Yeah. Bombard is the second fighting style. It lowers the DC for your allies to save against your area effects, which is hilarious.
The implication that you're going to be hitting your allies with your effects. Yeah.
And then there's close quarters, which, I'm a bit of a melee bitch. So I'm actually I'm going to be completely open. I'm very excited about this third one more than the others. When you successfully strike with a two-handed melee weapon, they are suppressed until the start of your next turn. So that gives you suppression on your melee weapon. You also get a reaction called Punitive Strike. If a suppressed creature in your reach uses a manipulate or move action, basically a spell or moving, or leaves a square, you bonk him. And if you crit, it cancels the triggering action. This is an attack of opportunity.
Oh, and for those unfamiliar, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, creatures don't just have attacks opportunity. It's a special action you have to have.
That's correct. Classes have to work their way into having attack of opportunity. I believe only fighters start with it. And then I believe there's other ways for, I think, like Monk and maybe some other fringe case I'm not thinking of where you can effectively get a literal attack of opportunity or something that is really damn close.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But this is one of those things where it's kind of an attack of opportunity, but it's also unique to the soldier.
Yeah, it requires specialized conditions, a penalty that only soldiers, so far as we know, have access to. Really, really, really cool. This actually ties into a feat that I'm going to show you here in just a sec.
Steven, can you, really quick, how many reactions do you get? You only get one reaction per round?
You get one reaction per round in Pathfinder.
Okay.
Yeah. Not different from Swissy. Or Swissy will give you as many reactions as you have triggers for. Which, honestly, I prefer that. I think that's way more fun because you can do some ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
So feats. This is this field test, which I recommend, checking out for yourself, regardless of whether or not you're listening to this. Do look through. It's a level 1 to 5 guide, basically, for the soldier. We have feats, a plethora of soldier feats going all the way up to level 5 here. I've selected 3. We probably wouldn't be fun and don't have the time to go through all of them.
It's more fun to save some for you to go read up later.
Level 1 feat, this is one I was talking about. Quick swap. As a reaction, stow your current weapon and draw another 2-handed weapon when a creature moves adjacent to you.
Oh.
Mook closes the distance and gets next to you. Guess what? Your sword is already out, and you're gonna hit him with the close quarters fighting style immediately.
I've got my 2-handed energy hammer here, just waiting for someone to get close enough.
It was just right here. It's it was just I was on my back. I
just pulled it out.
They step up to you, reaction to draw. Next turn, they maybe prepare a spell or do something stupid. You hit them. You hit them hard.
Do something stupid like try and cast a spell.
Yeah.
Suppressed idiot.
Yeah. Or try to move away from you. Say you get one hit off. They try to move. You're going to hit them again. Menacing Laughter, level 2, another classic feat, very reminiscent of a lot of things you can do in Swissy. It's one action. You can attempt intimidation checks to demoralize each creature within 30 feet that you suppressed this turn.
What does demoralizing do in this system again?
Let's look it up.
I know it's like a condition, though.
It is. I want to say it's a penalty to... Oh, God. Like reflex? Oh, that's right. So demoralizing can give the frightened condition, which is a penalty to all your checks and DCs by the frightened value. So by default, that's going to be frightened 1. So it's a -1, all your checks and all your DCs. And at the end of your turn, the value of the frightened condition decreases by 1.
That's really good.
Definitely. So if you critically succeed on frightened or on demoralizing, you get frightened 2. So you're -2, and then next turn you'll go down to -1. That's how frightened works in P2E.
In a system where hitting 10 below an AC is an automatic miss is so.
That's another thing I forgot to mention about why we love Pathfinder is the crit system.
Yes.
10 above a DC, that's a critical success. That's a crit. We call that a crit. That's crazy. Success
doesn't even need to be a nat 20. It can just be 10 above.
Yep, exactly. And, critical failures are fun too, because they can, especially with saves, because especially the higher level spells, if you critically fail against those, you're just fucked. You're dead. You're done.
Oh yeah. So if you just turn everyone in the cone into a -2 fool.
Exactly.
And then
best case scenario, you launch a huge salvo against a bunch of stupid fucking mooks, maybe some laser wolves. We'll get to those in a sec. Not only did you just hit them all with suppression, not only did you just deal 20 to 30 damage to each of them, now you say your intimidation goes well, they all get -2 on all their checks and DCs. The encounter is over. There isn't much left after that. And then the level 4 feat I wanted to feature was Punishing Salvo, which is a lot of words to put simply. If your last action was a strike, an attack on your primary target, you remember primary target, Sam, you can just make a second attack. This one can't be an area attack, and it won't count as an area attack, though it can be made with any weapon. But yeah, just an extra attack. That's it.
That's great. That's so good.
I love it.
I mean, extra attacks are hard to come by in this. Well, I mean, they're easy to come by in this system, but without a, is this without a?
This is a reaction, yeah.
That's so good. Oh, it's a reaction. That's sick as hell.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's a one action.
You fool!
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Does it get a multi-attack penalty or no?
It doesn't say, which means I think it does.
Wow.
But it also lets you attack multiple times with weapons that normally prevent it.
Oh, because you need to reload typically. Yeah.
There's also, it mentions an unwieldy trait. I think that might be a thing in Pathfinder, but it basically just means if a weapon has the unwieldy trait, you cannot attack multiple times with it. This ignores that.
Oh, there you go. That's rad.
Mm-hmm. So the soldier's looking great. This is the kind of class I like to play. It's big, bombastic. It's got a lot of debuffs going on. I hope you notice that. It's got some classic tankiness going on with some delightful two-handed weapon mastery. This is a very fun class. This is pure fun.
I'm excited. If this is the soldier, I can't wait to see what the crazier shit is.
Right? Like what's the mystic gonna look like?
Oh man.
The iconic for that one's a bug.
It's a bug.
It's a bug.
Man. Oh, that's so awesome. Well, thank you so much, Stephen, for bringing that to us.
Oh, of course. Can't wait to see what else we got here.
I'm excited. Oh yeah, don't worry. The field test isn't over.
No,
there's more.
There's so much more.
There is more. All right, Stephen, you tackled the class that they brought in the first field test, and I went ahead and scoped out what we're looking at. Because you can't be a soldier. What's a soldier without his weapon, right?
Nothing.
You're just a dude.
You're just a guy.
Like, you're just a guy. You can't even like shoot people without a weapon. So we're talking about the weapons. Just like in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, ranged weaponry in Starfinder 2nd Edition requires an attack roll. Ranged attack rolls use Dex as their ability modifier. It's a D20 roll plus your Dex mod, plus your proficiency bonus, plus any other bonuses you might get and penalties. All weapons are split into simple and martial weapons. Depending on your class, you'll have training in either of those. And they have the following statistics. They have a damage plus a damage type. So there's bludgeoning, B for bludgeoning, P for piercing, S for slashing, A for acid, C for cold, E for electric, F for fire, M for crap.
I think it's E for energy as well.
Oh, E for energy. Did I say electric?
Yeah. Not fucking Pokemon.
E for energy, M for mental, Po for poison, and So for sonic.
Very impressive lineup.
Impressive lineup. Each weapon also tells you how many hands it requires to use the weapon, and characters can only perform actions with their active hands if they have more than 2 hands.
Right.
You can only use your active hands equipped items at once unless you use an action to switch active hands, unless you have some sort of intensive training that allows you to use multiple sets of hands.
I think that's
do things at once.
I think that's a nudge, wink, wink about like a ancestry feat or something coming down the line.
I'm so excited to play as like a 10-armed fucked up thing.
Yeah.
from the Dork Galaxy.
You sure are from the Dork Galaxy.
Hey. Each weapon also has a capacity, which is their ammunition. So it's like batteries, tanks of petrol for like flamethrowers, cartridges, stuff like that. Most projectile weapons use rounds, while most injection weapons use darts. And it says here around each cartridge is like 1 credit per cartridge. So I guess time is money, but so is bullets.
Hey, I love it.
Also usage. So it's how much ammunition is used per strike. So some weapons will use 2 ammunition per strike, etc. So on. Stuff like scatter guns, stuff like that. We also have upgrades. So most weapons can get 1 upgrade, some weapons can get more, and it'll tell you how many upgrades each weapon can be outfitted with. And lastly, we've got weapon traits. Weapon traits are how weapons are made unique in this system. For example, a weapon with the automatic as a trait can be fired for 2 actions instead of 1 as an automatic fire area attack.
Ooh.
The way automatic fire works compared to what we're used to here at the Dark Times is you hit each creature in a cone with a range equal to half the weapon's range increment. Any creatures in the area must succeed as a basic reflex save against your class DC, plus the tracking value of the weapon. You don't roll an attack roll. This damage is area damage. Creatures that critically fail this save are subject to effects that occur on a critical hit with this weapon, including the weapon's critical specialization effect. Automatic fire has a usage equal to half the weapon's maximum capacity. So with the automatic weapon, you can either attack a single target with an attack roll or force any creatures in the area to make a basic save against your Class D CV. Steven, some people may be unfamiliar with the basic save, and I don't know, it's the words sound easy, but might be confusing to some.
Yeah.
What's a basic save in this system?
I think I remember it well, and we'll edit it if I'm wrong. But we're all cool with the idea of like a save against a DC, right? Like we don't do that in Swissy, but like everyone's played D&D where we do that. If you don't know what that is, just know that, you roll against a specific number on your character sheet. That's all. Yeah.
And so there's successes, critical successes, failures, critical failures, stuff like that.
Yeah. Critical failure. So basic save entails critical success means you take no damage from the spell, hazard, effect, what have you that made you make the save. If you get a success on that save, you take half the listed damage from the effect. On a failure, you take the full damage, and on a critical failure, you take double damage. That's a basic save in a Paizo system.
There we go. Other traits include analog.
Ooh.
This weapon eschews advanced electronics, computer systems, and electric power sources, but was manufactured and calibrated using advanced technology. This weapon is immune to abilities that target technology. Weapon runes, as found in Pathfinder, don't function on this weapon unless this weapon also has the archaic trait. While this use of the word analog is not technically correct when referring to technology, use of the term in this way has become common throughout the Pact worlds.
Very nice.
We also have the archaic. I wanted to mention this one just because it's so fucking funny. The archaic trait. This weapon is crafted using traditional methods and materials, but is not suitable for striking modern armor. All weapons from Pathfinder 2nd Edition have the archaic trait.
Nice.
Weapon runes, as found in Pathfinder, function normally with archaic weapons. When a creature with non-archaic armor takes damage from an archaic weapon, that creature gains resistance 10 against the attack.
Very cool.
Isn't that cool?
I love it.
So instead of being like, how do we balance the swords that already deal 3d8 to the guns? Well, you make everyone have resistance 10 against the sword.
It's pretty Kiss, I must say. It's pretty keep it simple, stupid. I like it.
I love it. We also have the tech trait. Weapons with the tech trait incorporate electronics, computer systems, and power sources. Sometimes the weapon use such little energy that it can rely on integrated power sources, such as melee weapons that don't have a capacity, while others drain batteries with attacks. Weapon runes, as found in Pathfinder, don't function on these weapons. Tracking. This one's important. This weapon has been developed with several integrated targeting, stabilizing, and homing systems. Attack rolls with this weapon gain an item bonus equal to the listed value. So like a +1, +2, you have tracking 1, tracking 2, stuff like that.
Oh, cool. I like that. Wait, there's your weapon rune.
Yeah, those are your runes, basically.
Yeah.
Here's a couple weapons straight from the field test, the laser pistol and the roto laser. Laser pistol. The trusty sidearm of most interstellar travelers, the laser pistol has an untold number of makes and models across the galaxy. These small arms work in tandem with compact batteries to unleash pinpoint shots of directed energy at their intended targets. Lower-end models tend to gobble up battery charges, while higher-end models often trade overall capacity for increased damage. Roto laser. Employing a moving array of lenses, this weapon also uses a rotating set of barrels that allow for a series of short laser blasts in an area. Roto lasers can unleash a blistering hall of fire or be calibrated to fire single shots in short succession, say that 5 times fast, without worrying about depleting ammunition. They straddle a line between being a full area suppression weapon and a tactical rifle, though paying for that price in weight.
That's fine, Sam. That's very good. Yeah, very colorful fiction. Great work. Everyone clap for Sam.
Oh.
No stats?
Oh, well, Steven, there's different levels of weapons. So that's why there's no stats for those. The weapons there's different kinds of levels. There's commercial, tactical, and advanced weapons, which I like this. I like how this is done. Commercial weapons are exactly that. No fancy upgrades and lower capacity, perfect for the level 0 creep to threaten your party with before getting completely obliterated by your level 5 soldier. Tactical weapons are more our speed. They got higher capacity, typically a basic tracking upgrade, which is a +1. Nothing to sneeze at. Advanced weapons are how you know you've made it to the top of some corpo shit list if the goons he's sending after you are rocking these bad boys. Even higher capacity, higher damage, typically more dice of damage, and a whopping 2 upgrade slots as well. These bad boys mean business.
Man, what other game? It's so familiar. That's so cool, Sam. I love that. But what other game have I played that uses some sort of tiered equipment system that denotes the threat and also availability of that equipment? Does that sound familiar to you? Some sort of category of availability?
You'll have to make a knowledge bureaucracy check to.
Very good. Very good.
Oh man, that's great. That's great.
Well, we're not done yet.
We're not done. There's so much we haven't covered, and still there's so much we have covered.
Yeah.
And we're still not done.
We're still not done. The field test continues. Oh, it even has a little blurb about currency. You'll have to read in that yourself, dear listener. I didn't even see that when I went through this the first time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've got creatures.
We've got creatures.
Introducing.
So wait, Steven. So this is like, so it's Starfinder. It's like sci-fi Pathfinder. So what do you fight like? You just fight like dragons with like protogens or whatever? Or?
Yes, actually, the dragons are a major enemy in Starfinder. They are typically at the helm of intergalactic corporations.
That's cool as fuck. Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, no, I'm being dead serious. Like most of the dragons you encounter are meant to be as like a CEO in like, Star Corp or whatever.
Oh, because it's like a 40K situation where it's the fantasy world, but in the far future.
Yeah.
So the dragons still exist and shit like that.
Yeah, there's dragons, but like their horde is like business conglomerates.
Yeah, that's great.
It's really sick.
Oh my God. Do you think there's going to be campaigns out there where the dragons were like the same dragon from the actual Pathfinder campaign, and they go on to be old enough to run a corporation in the sci-fi tech universe?
Hey, I'm stealing that, by the way.
I'm so excited.
That's my idea
so
now.
Good.
So, well, you mentioned, you asked what sort of creatures you encounter in a Starfinder game, and I think it'd be just better to show you. Introducing the computer glitch gremlin. Among the dizzying specimens of Fae, that's right, this is a computer virus and also a Fae. Keep that in mind. Among the dizzying specimens of Fae are the glitch gremlins. These typically single-minded Fae dedicate their existence in the universe to creating mayhem through their association with specific types of technology. The lowly computer glitch gremlin is one such specimen, having its being intuitively tied with the computerized devices and networks of the modern age. These cavorting Fae make it their mission to create as much havoc as they can by influencing computer systems and creating chaos in their wake. Known for their innate ability to communicate with digital devices, these Fae routinely become infatuated with such systems, often viewing it as a strange game of how they can best subvert even the most well-protected of digital systems. A computer glitch gremlin has an appearance often based on the specific type of data it has consumed, but they almost always stand about 1 foot tall and weigh around 4 pounds. Due to some peculiarity, a large number of computer glitch gremlins take on the telltale appearance of a goblin, save that their eyes are replaced with a digital screen that displays information relevant to their specific interests.
Oh, I see that the field test has an image included of a computer glitch gremlin. These things are horrifying.
Yeah, they're kind of scary, but really kind of cute too. But like, he's got a bunch of like USB ports on his head, and I love his LCD screen with an emoticon on it. That's
the cables
great.
coming out of his fingers.
Yeah, the cables kind of throw me off, but that classic Paizo art, I just love it.
I love it.
Before we get into this guy, he introduces a new condition as well. Glitching is a condition that affects objects and or creatures with the tech trait, and it always includes a value. A glitching creature or object experiences a combination of debilitating effects and moments of seizing up. If you have glitching equipment and take any action involving that equipment, you must attempt a DC 10 flat check to see what occurs. That's just rolling a d20 against a value of 10. There's no modifiers. If you have the glitching condition on yourself, you must make this flat check at the beginning of every round. On a critical success, you reduce your glitching value by 1. So if you're hit with a glitching 1 effect, then it doesn't affect you at all. On a success, you act as normal or use your equipment as normal. On a failure, you take an item penalty on all your checks and DCs equal to your glitching value or the glitching value on the item you're attempting to use. On a critical failure, you count as stunned 1 for the round. Alternatively, the object you try to use does not function, and you lose the actions you took to attempt to use it.
Glitching's pretty bad.
Glitching can be very, very bad. Obviously these guys inflict glitching. We'll get into how in just 1 second. But you throw like 6, these are -1, threat level creatures. They are just little gremlins, little goblins. But, throw 6 in a combat, especially with a greater threat. If they get a glitch off, that's going to be a real problem.
Oh yeah,
I like that.
Your party members are most likely going to be using tech weapons,
Certainly,
because you're all. It's Starfinder. You're not using a tech weapon, then you're fucking weird. You're some weird monk with an archaic gun and from a weird religious space haven. Like, well, that's such a weird character. Like, why would you show up to a sci-fi campaign and not want to play a sci-fi character?
I certainly wouldn't know. So yeah, they've got a bite attack. They got a little spark attack, but I think the main the kicker here is their glitch aura, which has the aura and the primal magic tags. Creatures and items with the tech trait within 20 feet of the glitch gremlin struggle to function reliably. Creatures with the tech trait, unattended items with the tech trait, or creatures holding equipment with the tech trait that start their turn in the aura must attempt a DC 16 will save. On a critical success, no effect, and the creature or item is temporarily immune to the glitch aura for 1 minute. That's why I love these Paizo aura abilities. If you fail one, or if you critically succeed against one, you don't have to worry about it like for the rest of the encounter. It's so great. On a success, you're unaffected. On a failure, the creature, item, or all the creature's held items become glitching 1. Wow. Critical failure, the creature, item, or all the creature's held items become glitching 2. And then we just discussed what glitching entails and what it does. There's some as of yet unreleased spells that these guys can do. I just wanted to read off. They have delete, thunder strike.
Delete's a great spell.
Delete is a really good spell, as well as figment and recharge weapon. Oh, it says figment will appear in the new Pathfinder book coming out.
And Thunderstrike, yeah.
And Thunderstrike. Oh yeah, sure enough. Sick.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited. So that's a good like little level -1 creature, but let's get a little more serious. At the start of the field test, they're going on and on about laser wolves. Like, oh, welcome to Starfinder. We got laser wolves, not a timber wolf. No, laser wolf. It's Starfinder.
Not a wimpy ass loth cat. What the fuck is that?
The loth cats in the new Ahsoka show are so fucking cute.
I bet they are.
Oh my god,
they are.
They really knocked it out of the park with those. It's a puppet, I think.
Oh hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is a laser wolf, or the lore friendly name is Tashtari. They really want you to throw these in your Pathfinder game immediately, probably to plug the new upcoming product to your players, and just because it's fucking cool. As you'll see, they're actually from the same solar system as Galarian, which is the Pathfinder like planet.
Oh, cool.
Native to the green world of Castrovel, the Tashtari has become known throughout the wider galaxy as the laser wolf. These wolf-like pack hunters have a layer of flexible filaments that emit phosphorescent lights, which allow them to silently communicate through a bespoke visual language. Very cool. Each Tashtari possesses a node within its throat that allows it to channel its stored solar energy and unleash a beam of focused light, giving the species their moniker of laser wolves. Wasn't there a Digimon that was kind of like this?
There might be.
A mating pair, comprising of 1 or 2 alphas, lead packs of Tashtaris who generally become the apex predators of large areas that include 1 or more forested regions. The presence of trees is important for the nocturnal Tashtaris. They use them to sleep atop during the day, basking in sunlight to recharge their solar energies. Laser wolves have an average length of 4 to 5 feet with a 2-foot-long tail. They weigh on average 120 pounds. Alpha specimens are slightly broader and weigh more, but are more notable for their expanded muzzle that contains a higher concentration of filaments to create more elaborate light patterns.
That's cool as fuck.
Really, really cool. But yeah, and it also says here, they are from the same solar system as Galarian, so hey, they might find their way there through a magic portal or, some such fuckery. So yeah, throw them at your Pathfinder players. Why not? It says there's
That's so great.
Anywhere between 3 and 12 to a pack with 1 or 2 alphas. The base Tashtari is level 3. It's got a jaw attack plus a knockdown effect. It's ranged attack, though. Imagine if you were just a poor little forest squirrel and your main predator had a muzzle beam.
Muzzle beam!
Yes. A plus 12 ranged attack with fire damage and a range of 60 feet. Damage is 1d6 plus 4 plus 1d4 persistent fire damage.
Bro, that's a brisket squirrel now.
Yeah, no, we're barbecuing tonight. They also have Bristle Flash, which is a 1-action ability. They cause the filaments to glow with an intense light. Non-Tashtaris within a 40-foot emanation must attempt a DC 19 Fortitude save. A creature that attempts the save is immune to all Bristle Flashes for 1 minute. The Tashtari's fur loses its glow, and it can't use this ability until it basks in sunlight for at least 10 minutes. Critical success, you're unaffected. On a success, you're dazzled for 1 round. On a failure, you're dazzled for 1 minute. This fucking dog flashbangs you. And on a critical failure, you're blinded for 1 round and dazzled for 1 minute.
This fucking dog flashbanged me, dude.
I'm going to see what dazzling does because I forgot. Your eyes are overstimulated. If vision is your only precise sense, all creatures and objects are concealed from you. And concealed is just, we won't go over Pathfinder concealment right now, but it's good, I promise.
It's better than
Swissie's, which isn't really defined. And then we also have a stat block for a Tashtari Alpha here, which is a creature level 5. It is identical, but instead of, it also has Bristle Flash, but it also has another ability, a 2-action super ability called Solar Cry. A searing rainbow erupts from the Tashtari Alpha's mouth as it throws back its head to unleash a powerful muzzle beam that soars into the sky. The beam then splits into countless rays of multicolored light that crash down in every direction. Just a wolf, by the way. Dealing 4d6 fire damage to each non-Tashtari in a 20-foot emanation. DC 19 basic reflex save. A creature that critically fails its save is also dazzled for 1 minute. Other Tashtaris in the area recharge their daily use of Bristle Flash. The Tashtari Alpha's glowing heart dims, and it can't use this ability until it recharges by basking in sunlight for over an hour.
So funny.
So hold on a second. This is what they're positing as Starfinder's basic fucking wolf. You know, your first encounter.
It's a creature 5, Steven. So it's a level 5 creature. So let's not.
No, fuck you. It's fine. Your second encounter at the table. Dear God.
For sure.
It's a level 3 base creature. It's got a level 5 mini boss with it. All these dogs can flashbang you and shoot lasers, and then the alpha can recharge the whole pack to keep flashbanging everyone. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
God damn. And it shoots fucking rainbow into the sky that rains down on you like a bunch of fucking like Gundam missiles.
I do love it a lot. It's
badass. Wow.
I'm so excited, Steven.
This is very exciting. There's a lot to be excited about.
Man, do you have any hopes, any high hopes for Starfinder? Anything in particular you're like, I hope this gets into Starfinder 2nd edition?
I hope, and I've hinted at it already, I hope it is such a system that we could maybe, not me, not you, not alone, could construct like Swissie 2E out of it.
Oh,
I genuinely hope that it would be easy to run Star Wars content with this. Other than that, I think it's going to be a very promising baseline for sci-fi adventures, especially if you already love Pathfinder. And if you don't, give it a go. I think you will.
Yes.
No better way to prepare for Starfinder than that.
There's plenty of really cool Pathfinder adventure paths out there as well.
Oh, yeah.
And those classes are awesome, too. I'm so excited, Steven.
It's so
I'm excited to be back in the podcasting saddle.
It feels really good. We shook the rust out, and it feels nice.
After our little stint on Tatooine, it's nice to be back.
Seriously.
In the podcasting cockpit, ready to
so
explore
much
the
sand.
galaxy. So much sand. We're still kicking it out of our boots, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Why do people go there? Why do so many people go there?
It seems like something's always happening, despite nothing happening at all.
It's like the center of the galaxy, but it's also the outer rim. Like, what the fuck's going on? Oh, man.
Well, that's all I got for tonight, Sam.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, that's all they wrote, huh? That's pretty much it. That's the end.
Yeah, that's it. There's still some things we didn't brush over, like credits and some feats, but like do dig into it, please.
Please. We had to leave something for you we had to leave something on the table to bait you into reading the field test.
Absolutely.
Listener. Well, The Dark Times is produced and edited by me, Sam. Steven's my co-host. You can reach out to us on Twitter at DarkTimesSWSE or email us darktimesswse@gmail.com. Review us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, where we get your shows. And if you're listening to this on the Patreon, hey, thanks for supporting us for the darkest summer. We really appreciate it, and we hope you enjoyed this as inclusive content. This may get public release at some point if you're listening to this on the public channels. That's awesome. That means some more Starfinder stuff came out, and Steven and I are doing more Starfinder stuff as well. We really appreciate you sticking with us, and we're excited to see what else we can do with the Dark Times.
I couldn't have said it any better myself, Sam. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the next wave. Length.
Ugh. Please don't end our podcast with the word length.
Length.
If we do a generic sci-fi Starfinder podcast, I'm gonna have you're gonna pull quotes from other media that isn't Star Wars.
That would be a lot easier. I was thinking, like, how do I
Really?
end this episode? Like, what quote do I use?
I was thinking you pull an Asimov quote just out of your ass, maybe something like that. I don't know.
like that.
You have any good Foundation quotes or something from Ender's Game? Maybe, I don't know.
I killed that guy in the bathroom. That's my Ender's Game quote.
Harrison Ford, I killed that guy in the bathroom. Ender's Game, 2015, whenever that movie came out.
I liked that movie.